$70.
a dick.
I know. Base game was $70. The deluxe edition was $80, and the deluxe edition is 50% off. The standard edition, no sale.
I love it when games just lose their goddamn mind with the sales. Everything should just be equally off, or an expansion one should be more off, but still probably more expensive than the base game. Doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. My only guess is that people are more tempted by an expansion sale and being like, oh, it's cheaper than the normal version now. Oh, yeah, I guess that seems like a good deal.
We're in real Lucario.
So, Shadow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, Dig, you can say what you were going to say first.
I asked Shadow if he was excited for the new Elder Scrolls, and he was like, "Yeah, but it's not going to be as good as Elden Ring." I was like, "They're not similar games."
It's not even equivalent.
I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm just
Is
saying
it better than
10 years ago.
Blackjack?
I said 10 years. I'm not as excited as I would have been 10 years ago, because 10 years ago there were like
you had
3
no
games.
taste 10 years ago. I mean, you still have no taste today, but Jesus, how are there so many pieces of a chair?
It's just how it has to be, Noah.
I don't get it. I loved the chair that I had been using, but just like in one fell swoop, it went from being just a luxurious, big and tall, like office chair to half of it crippled and regularly trying to hurt me.
But something happened to it? I remember you telling us that like one day, like a bolt was sheared off or something like that. Something happened.
There was one screw bolt with diamond head fitting, or diamond shaped fitting, I should say. It just like snapped in two, and so the back of the chair is being supported in 3 places. It's being supported directly on the back of the chair with the armrest, connecting the chair to the seat of the chair right at the axis point, and then connecting the armrest of the chair to the base of the chair, near where your thighs would be. The bolt where the thigh would be on my left side just snapped, and so the whole chair lost all form and function of supported on the left side, and so it just leans back really far now. And at first I was like, all right, that's annoying, but I'll just get a new bolt and I'll sort it out. And then like a day later, a different bolt did the same thing on the other side.
Just because, the extra pressure on it.
Yeah, there was suddenly way more tension across the board. I just said, all right, I'm just not gonna get in the chair anymore. This is fine. And then when I went to go get some new bolts for it, when I was like checking it out to see what size and stuff I would need, one of the wheels I saw just wasn't working anymore. And I was like, this whole chair is just coming apart by the day. So I'm just gonna not worry about it.
Yeah,
and I just haven't worried about it for a while until I finally decided to buy a new one.
So, what's worse? Being woken up from sleep when like you feel that weird jolt like you're falling, or when you lean back in a chair thinking that it's locked in place and it tilts back and you think you're gonna fall over.
The chair, definitely. I very quickly get over the jolt, suddenly falling in my sleep. But the lean back in my chair has me on edge for like the rest of the day almost. And just constantly, or I constantly think about it. I'm like too worried to risk leaning.
I'll be honest.
The same way? Does it not like make you anxious?
I mean, I definitely, when it happens in the moment, I'm like, fucking hell. But
Yeah, I mean, I
I
wouldn't say it
usually just
affects the rest of my day.
I
I
don't
don't.
trust the chair for the rest of the day. I don't know why, because I don't get anxious about a lot of things, but it bothers me so
And the
much.
thing is, I get anxious about a lot of things, and that is one of the things. Within 5 minutes, I'm
When
good.
God was making us before we were put in the world, He was like, "All right, we gotta
Listen,
balance out who gets anxious with what."
this one's afraid of chairs. But yeah, I think it's close, but I think I would have to go with this one just because it wakes me up, and that's a
It's hard to
stronger
wake you up.
negative. I know, bro. But when I wake up, it's almost like the visualization of me falling through my mattress onto the floor is what it feels like when I get jolted awake, like I was about to fall through the sky. But I don't know. But yeah, I get over the chair thing pretty quickly. I'm like, ah, shit, okay. Well, I guess I didn't push that little handle thing all the way in. That's always the culprit when it's like the
Oh
handle
yeah.
is like just
It's
because
like it's waggled forward slightly, but it didn't actually lock into place.
exactly. It's one thing if you lean back and it's not in at all, and you just lean back immediately. It's another thing if it's like partially in there
No,
and
and it
it catches it
snaps.
first
Yeah.
and then pops out, and that's when and that's when you're like, oh god,
Yeah,
this is it.
that's the one that makes me anxious. Like
This is
if
the
it's
end of my
just
Here's
blood.
out and I lean back, I'm just like, oh, and I can very
Yeah,
quickly sort it back out. But
that
it's the
little
one where
pop.
it's a sudden, you hear the noise, the chair leans back, your life flashes before your eyes, and you regret so
so
much.
here's where you lost
Shadow's
me.
just like
You
I
guys,
just use chairs with legs and reclining.
Shadow just goes crisscross.
here's where you lost me. You guys set it so that it doesn't lean back ever. Why would you do that?
I mean, it depends. There are some chairs that like they lean back an amount that I
Yeah,
can't do work with them.
most chairs that are not the shitty chairs that you have, like, in an office building where you're like going to visit someone, right? You know how they have the in their
Yeah.
places of. I don't like those that are set to lean back or sit still, because the lean back is either you're going to the moon and the sit up is, technically probably posturally correct, but it just hurts because it's so stiff and upright. My chair, when I locked it into not lean back, it's like 15, 20 degrees of give pretty just comfortably. So I could just, casually lean back a little bit.
Same with mine. The one I use at the office, when it's locked in place, it has the pressure when I lean back that it gives a little bit, but it doesn't recline. I'm not trying to lay in a recliner at work.
Yeah.
So what I
My
do is
my
I lock
brother
it.
likes laying back in his chair like crazy, and I don't get it.
Interesting.
I've hated it my whole life. I've never liked it, but my dad and him both will just go real far back, like lowrider style.
If
Just
I
living life.
if I'm not having to do anything like at a desk or on my computer, then I'll lean back like that. If I was just like at a desk watching a video, I think I'd be down to lean back like that. But when I'm working, I need to be like more upright. But so like I'll have that slight give, and then I'll like prop my feet up on something, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
how I work.
I've got my this chair I got. I think actually has an extension to it where when I want to lean the chair back a little bit more, it kicks out a little bit of like
Oh,
a leg support, not a footrest necessarily, but the one that will
fancy.
go to your knee or
Yeah.
just a little bit into your calves. And I'm curious if I'm gonna like that at all, because I don't actually have a ton of space in front of me because I have a wall here. But where I set my feet normally, and I can see right on my windowsill where I set them, I've rubbed the paint away in a like 8-inch 1 foot area, just long, right where I'll just prop
Throw
the
the
base
paint
of my
away.
feet against it.
Long-tail cat talisman, huh?
So who else? Who else is ready to fight Justin because of this betrayal?
I was definitely like, well, I guess does Eloise not drive? Did he drive her up to Ohio?
No, she did he?
That's why I'm confused. I thought that when Justin was at his mom's for her birthday, Eloise drove up to Ohio.
Yeah,
So
that was the impression I had.
when he said I'm picking her up from Ohio, I was like, but why?
It might have been she like flew down to Ohio.
What?
Which, I mean, just such a small
Ohio is
trip.
above.
Suck every dick on the universe, Shadow.
I'll be
I
honest.
genuinely don't care.
I'll be honest. When you said that, I was kind of confused. I was like, but how did she get to the airport? I guess she Ubered, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe her mom picked her up.
I don't know, maybe. I was gonna say maybe someone drove her. That wasn't Justin, but I don't know for sure. My whole life, I always use the phrase
Go down.
"go down." Yeah.
Yeah, I do the
And
same thing usually.
my mom, similar to Shadow, is just the most annoying person about it. Anytime I say it and it's wrong, she corrects me. I'm just like I don't care, and I genuinely tried to amend my ways, but I don't think about it at all when I say it. It just is what is said. And so I just have accepted that I will say it wrong for the rest of my life.
Look, I mean, if the devil went down to Georgia, you can't get any further south than hell. So it's like, that's just how it is. And I think that's just a term of phrase. A turn of phrase? Did I say term of phrase?
Well, I think it's
Exactly.
I think it's
It is
down.
terminal.
It depends on where the speaker is. Like if I was speaking, I would say go down to Ohio, but you guys would say go up to Ohio.
No, we
Literally,
understand.
we
I was
understand that
joking about the
completely.
devil went down to Georgia.
You mean that wasn't a true treatise on the proper? Get fucked. Oh my god. I'm so strong. I don't know whether I've just upgraded these weapons way more than.
I think because you're allowing yourself to die and keep playing, you're just vibing.
Well, it's
Life
like
feels
my
good.
swords are just so much. I mean, it is a special weapon that I'm using.
So what build are you doing for the DLC?
Well, we'll see when I get there. I mean, currently I'm using the ornamental straight sword. Ornamental straight swords. You know, we'll see whether that falls off too much.
Oh, so you switch builds because you're not a man of commitment. I made a magic deck with one of the spoiled cards for
Bro.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
No spoilers.
Now I'm gonna need to make sure everyone was cool with me using one of the cards that's not officially out.
Yeah,
I
I
could
have
not care
no.
less. Noah, if you
Yeah,
make your
I figured it wouldn't matter, but I wanted to do the courtesy of at least acknowledging it.
No,
Justin has
you
straight
can
up
go
been
ahead
like,
and
"Hey, this card's not a legendary card. Can I use it as commander?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fine. Doesn't matter."
Yeah. I mean, he put the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons in Shadow's deck.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he did do that.
no, you can feel free to like get a note card out and write down some details of what you want the card to do and use that.
Oh, easy game.
There's 1,000 blank white cards.
Well, Shadow just said some infinite combos that he thinks they shouldn't be in decks. So Noah, make a one card infinite combo.
Hold on, what infinite combos does he not want in decks?
Any infinite combos. Asterisk.
Really? No
I'm
infinite combos.
asterisk. I'm fine with it being in the deck. I'm not fine with you using it. Like if there are two cards
I
that
think
separately.
if
Then
there's
why
a
would it be in the
2-card
deck?
infinite combo, you're a piece of shit. A 3-card infinite combo, still probably a piece of shit, but there's at least a little bit of, if they're expensive or it's really weird and wonky how it works, fine. 4 cards and onwards, it's like, alright, fuck you, I guess you win the game, sure. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Someone has to use 4 cards to get a combo off to win the game. That's their business.
Because that's what I was telling Shadow about. I was doing a playthrough with my energy deck earlier, and I found another infinite combo.
I know there was at least 1 or 2 that I was aware of when I made my energy deck before, and that was before all the new energy cards came out.
So essentially,
I'm sure there's new ones now.
the first infinite combo I found, I told you about. There's the whale that when ETBs creates 6 energy,
Yeah.
which with Gonti's Heart, you need 8 energy to get an extra turn. When you attack with your commander, you get 2 energy. So therefore, the 2 energy plus the 6 when you copy the whale gives you the enough energy to have infinite extra turns as long as your commander doesn't die. Which, granted, that's difficult given the commander's not super strong and would probably get killed in combat. But the one that I found earlier is like a 4-card infinite combo where there's an artifact that when like a creature ETBs, you get an energy. There is the Guide of Souls, which when a creature ETBs, you get 1 life and an energy. There's another artifact creature that when you gain life, you get that much energy. And then there's the Thopter guy, who when you can pay 3 energy to put out a 1/1 Thopter. So
Yes, please.
so it's like when you pay 3 energy to get a Thopter, all 3 of those cards then with that ETB create 3 energy altogether, which then gives you the 3 energy to create another Thopter, and so on and so forth. So you would get infinite Thopters. But that's like a 4-card infinite combo.
Yeah. And I guess part of my statement for it as well is under the assumption you're not searching your deck for any of them.
Yeah,
If there's any deck searching involved, then it's like, all right, go fuck yourself.
Tutors just aren't fun. Because the problem is tutors, usually you can say, well, tutor is any card in the deck, and it gives you the card that you need in the moment. But for the most part, you're just going to tutor for the best cards in your deck. So it's like it's just going to give you the same gameplay every time with the deck.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm not going to hate on somebody for running a tutor, but I'm like, I don't want to run a tutor just because I feel like that would get a little monotonous.
Yeah. It's like, why put in a tutor when you could instead put in 1 more Blightsteel Colossus?
Exactly. Or two.
It's weird. Games the other day of like, just real rough and tumble decks, and I've not seen anyone running that in a long time. It's like no one wants to just even touch it anymore, and I don't. I'm not against it. It's kind of surprising.
Um,
It's like even decks that cheat out cards, I don't see people running it.
yeah, I feel like Magic has gotten to the point where most people want to run a theme. And obviously there are some people who are like, oh yeah, I want to put in that Bladesteel Colossus as a win con. But I think most people are like, if I have a thing based on cheating stuff out, if it's a green deck, I'm going to try and cheat out green creatures. Even though there are multiple colorless creatures that are just better.
Yeah, just Eldrazi and the boys.
Exactly. Like, dude, there have been some fucking reanimate decks that have been eating my ass in fucking the arena. Because they'll mail themselves and they'll do like impulse draw, but no, they'll like draw 2 discard cards,
Yeah.
or draw 2 discard 2, whatever that one costs, like Faithless Looting. Like they'll put Faithless Lootings and all those different types of draw and discard cards in their deck, and then they'll put in reanimate cards that put a creature onto the battlefield, and then they're just like, here's my Ulamog Filer.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it in the graveyard. Look
I
at that. For 2 mana.
I played a game where they had the Eldrazi land, that when you play it, it exiles something like 7 or greater from like a certain amount of cards, and then they reanimated Mog, giving him 7+1/+1 counters on like turn 5, and he attacked, and I had to sack all of my permanents, lands, creature, and enchantment. Like everything that I had was gone. And he didn't kill me, so I just I closed the game, and I was like, "You're just gonna have to lose, or you're just gonna have to beat me by me, forfeiting."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not going to be around here. Fuck you."
You said, I'm not happy.
He's calling me. Yep.
Dude, getting that booty call.
Time to kill Renala.
You wouldn't.
I would.
Why? What'd she do to you?
She has a great rune, and I need to become Elden Lord.
Couldn't you just settle for some so-so runes?
It's gotta be a great rune.
Gotta be her great rune.
Yeah, it seems my sister's gonna be over here in about an hour for me to help her with her psychology test.
What?
My sister's in like a master's program for teaching, and I've been helping her out with some of the classes that like she's not as good at. And she fucking fucked up about as badly as you could by signing up for a class. It was locked, so she thought that it hadn't started yet. And when she finally looked into it, she found out that it was locked because she hadn't paid for the class yet. So when she finally paid for it, there was only 2 weeks left in the class. And then on top of that, she saw, oh, the class is mostly tests. I'll just take them in a few days. Cut to like yesterday, 2 days ago, she started taking tests. But in other classes, you could retake your tests and you can see what you got wrong, and pretty much just
So
get
it's
an
just
A.
a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah. like you retake the test, you get all the answers right, and you move on. Easy classes. This one doesn't tell you what answers you got wrong. So
As
she
they
had like
shouldn't.
yeah, so she had like 7-8 days to take like 14 tests and write like 4 papers. And she's not read any. This is my oldest sister. She's not read any of the. She barely read any of the fucking material that she needs to. She's trying to take all these tests in like a few days, and I said I'd help her with some of the tests. So
You're a good brother.
I try to be. I was fucking infuriated yesterday.
As you should be.
I'm not specifically with her. Like, I was annoyed that I didn't take the test, but the problem is I was taking the test with her, and my parents, they just kept talking, and they tried to talk to us while we were taking a test that was 50 questions that we needed to finish in 50 minutes. And the entire time we were having to search through her fucking textbook trying to find the answers in this thing. And they were trying to talk to us. And I kept telling them to stop. And my dad kept whining. And I was like, please do something with him. And then they pick him up and put him on the couch. And then 2 minutes later, you jump off the couch and start whining at me again. I was like, I need you to keep him away from me. I can't handle with like all this fucking noise around me. And he did not help at all. And then my mom was reading my sister's paper that she wrote, and we were all just kind of going about our stuff, talking to each other. And she was like, I need you all to be quiet. I can't focus on this paper. And then
At what point did you snap?
During the second test that they had me take.
Okay.
Because I started taking the second test, and midway through it, my mom starts fucking reading these articles about J.K. Rowling and the trans shit. And my mom is like anti-trans, and I don't fucking
your mom's
care.
a turf.
It's like my mom is like liberal for the most part. She's honestly kind of fucking wacko sometimes. Her issue is she just has like deeply held takes, but like sometimes she doesn't actually look into some of the shit. So her informative takes and her non-informative takes all have the same conviction. And I told her, I was like, you spray off takes like a fucking fire hose, but you don't know where the fire's at. I was like, you just.
That's great.
And I was like, you were saying all this stuff because I was talking to her, and I was like, you see that fucking what's her name? Oh gosh, Alex Morgan didn't make the U.S. Olympic team, and she was like, "Good, get her out of here." And I was like, "What are you talking about? She's one of like the most." Historically great U.S. women's players to play. And she was like, yeah, but she's old. And I was like, and I looked it up, I was like, she's 34. It's like past her prime, but like she can still play. I was like, she was on our Olympic roster last year. And she was like, I bet she didn't even play. And I looked at it, I was like, she played every minute of every game. And she was like, I bet she wasn't that good. And I was like, stop qualifying.
Need to look up this
every...
too? You've been wrong on every stat.
I was like, stop qualifying every new piece of information when you don't know what you're talking about. But that's when I was like, you're a fire hose that doesn't know where the fire is. I was like, you're spraying off takes thinking that you're putting out this fire of like my questions, but in reality, you were just... I was about to equate her to the fire hose in civil rights protests, but I didn't want to do that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, good. I'm proud of your restraint on that one, because that would not have been the right analogy.
It honestly wasn't even restraint. I was just like, it doesn't work well enough. I'm just going to say I don't know where the fire is.
I don't know where the fire is hilarious. equating her to a fire hose during the civil rights movement is a whole different just level of like, ugh.
I don't know. But I was in the middle of the second test, and my mom is getting worked up because J.K. Rowling equated David Tennant. He was in one of the Harry Potter movies, and he's been like, I guess, an ally to the trans community because one of his children are trans, and
Okay.
she called him a gender Taliban or something along those lines. But she used the word Taliban, and she said that he was some type of gender terrorist. And my mom was getting worked up because, and this is one of the things that like frustrates me
What the
about my
fuck?
mom is that she gets really worked up about like trans people playing in women's sports, but then she doesn't care about women's sports. I watch more women's sports than her, and I try to get her interested in some of them. And she likes Caitlin Clark, but doesn't care to watch Caitlin Clark's games. And she likes the Olympics, but doesn't really want to watch the U.S. Olympic basketball team or the women's soccer team or any other specific women's athlete. There's a UK athlete who's won multiple gold medals, and she probably doesn't even know who she is. But it's like, my mom, it doesn't. She enjoys going to events, and sporting events are events. And she tangentially likes sports because of all of the stuff going around it. But she doesn't like know half the rules. She doesn't really know what's going on sometimes. And she's super concerned about trans women in women's sports. And I was like, there's like 7 of them. I don't know if you can see this as like a big problem when there might only be 50 trans athletes in all of America trying to play in women's sports. So like, and she's like, women's sports being separate from men's sports is the only way that we can have a fair game and blah blah blah, and they're trying to take being a woman away from us too. And I was like, fuck it, I don't. So when she started trying to go off about like J.K. Rowling and this shit, and my sister was like, well, what did J.K. Rowling say? I was like,
Don't encourage her.
I was like, don't ask this question. Stop talking to us. I'm losing my fucking mind. And they were like,
I am taking someone else's test for them. Please be quiet.
Yeah, but it was during the second test when she started trying to go off about like J.K. Rowling shit that like I dropped an F-bomb, and I was like, I want to get done with this right now. I do not want to, because like I had to wait 30 minutes for them to read these freaking papers. But the entire time you guys were like, hey, we're online. And I was like, it's going to be an hour. And I was doing that test stuff. But the entire time they were dragging their feet. And when we finally got into it, doing this shit, it kept trying to like bother me. Oof.
I wouldn't say you're a saint, Digger, but you're at least one of those, people who die for a cause. Not quite a martyr, but like,
Dude.
You're like a suicide bomber.
Exactly. I'm a gender Taliban.
Yeah.
So,
and we've gone full circle.
My thing is like I'll do stuff for other people, but I'm also like I begrudgingly do it, and it's like there's some days I've gone to help my sister with her house, and I've worked on her house painting shit for like 4 or 5 hours, but she knows the entire time I don't want to be there. And I don't know if that's like healthy or like a good way to go about it, but I'm not good at hiding my emotions, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to help you out because you need the help.
You shouldn't have to hide your emotions, Digger. You should be able to say plainly and clearly, I despise all of you. And I would fight all of you if I could legally.
I'll be honest, Noah, I thought you were going to go back and do a callback on the gender terrorist again and say you should be able to say plainly and clearly. And I was like, oh.
No, 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 no. That I feel like that would have pushed it too far.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I should have gone back for it. Shadow, what do you think?
Oh, you should have done it.
Damn it.
And I respect you
All right,
less for,
Digger.
for
And-
Give
not
me the
having done
line
it.
again.
And
I want to read me
Shadow
it.
would have recorded it for his.
He wants it for the stream.
It's on the stream. I mean, every word is on the stream. I only cut out the
Are
things
you
that I
actually
say that are
streaming now?
questionable.
My food
Yeah.
got delivered. I'll be right back.
Well, it's time to check out the.
I'm gonna send the link to your mom so she knows you've been shit talking to
Dude.
her.
Fuck you, are stream live.
Yeah. Bliss ahead. Oh boy.
So I just had a legit like 5-minute rant.
It adds color to the stream.
Huh?
I need a smithing stone 7? 7? Yeah. And I've already got a smithing stone 8. I think it only goes up to 10, right? Like for somber. It only go up to 10. Now, somewhere in this place is my potential new weapon.
Alrighty. Food acquired.
So no, he is live right now.
What's up?
Shadow is live right now. I thought he was joking.
I would like to say for anyone listening, Digger has a
I'm
wonderful
being-
family.
No,
Turfs
everything
are
said.
bad.
The views expressed in this stream are not necessarily the same views as the streamer.
Real quick, wait. Dude, turf, is that an actual term?
Turf? Yeah.
Oh, so what is that
It's
now?
women. It's women against trans women.
Interesting. I never heard before.
Yeah. No.
Is it is it because they believe trans women are fake women? Turf is
Yeah.
fake grass.
What?
What?
I heard
No, it's
half
an
what you said
acronym,
and then you
Digger.
cut out, and so I lost.
I said like turf is fake grass.
No, it's an acronym.
no,
Trans
it's an
exclusionary radical feminist.
Interesting. I thought I nailed it.
I'm proud of you for trying.
Yeah, I mean you came
Thank
up
you.
with a believable
Why?
solution.
Oh my god! I just downloaded Auto Chess again. and I opened it to a large woman with geophysics, and for some reason, I just don't like this. Why is this the thing? Why can't I access this game right now?
Digger, they know what the target audience wants.
No,
What?
the new share screen.
Okay. Ready.
Originally, it was Dota Auto Chess. Can't start a share screen. Try later. What?
What? I mean, you do sound a little robot-y. Now and then. I'm wondering if it's just bad connection here.
Probably is. Can't start a share screen. For why? You close the game. I'm starting now.
So I got to go at 2 o'clock.
You'll be missed.
I'll be
Probably
gone
by
for an
dinner, not by
hour
me,
or.
but
I can't start a share screen. Let me. I'm gonna test my network settings.
yeah. Make sure you're hooked up to Ethernet.
This is just
Oh, I'm
close
never
enough.
hooked
I
How
know
do
you're
I?
not. No, you're not.
Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? Do, 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 do. Why was the end up here? Curtains closed on us.
Dude, I
This
was
guy
so
knows it
bent out of shit
comes.
about U.S. losing to Panama yesterday.
Oh, there. Where's my doohickey? There's my doohickey.
Why can't we have nice things?
The Taliban.
The Republicans.
Exactly. Why is the American soccer team the equivalent to Detroit?
The Taliban. I'm just gonna keep blaming them for this stuff now. I haven't thought about them in a while.
They're still out there living life.
It says my download is 100 megabytes a second.
What's your upload? That's probably the culprit.
Half a megabyte.
Half a megabyte?
Yeah, it was 500. It
Jesus
was
Christ.
500 kilobytes.
Yeah, I think I know where the problem
I
is.
I don't know
that
why my
means
upload.
isn't upload more directly related to other people on the bandwidth at
But no
Shadow?
one's here. It's just me today.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, let me see some jiggle. Oh, yes, please. What am I even looking at?
I guess this is one of the characters.
This feels very League of Legends-y.
Yeah, it was originally Dota Auto Chess, but then
Yeah.
Dota
They
like
made the
shut it off.
Underlords.
Yeah, then I guess they made their own thing. So Auto Chess just went back to Auto Chess, or is Auto Chess now? But the thing is, no, I'm pressing buttons and nothing is happening. It's not
I
loading.
see the horse loading in the bottom right.
I know, but it's like, for what? For
Okay.
who?
I think this music is what they play to convicts to drive them insane in solitary confinement.
It feels like it's always repeating.
It is
But
repeating.
no, but like
The
every
loop is like
3
6
seconds.
seconds.
Okay. I was like, I can't tell if it's repeating every like 3 to 5 seconds, or if I genuinely just can't like understand how this
No,
music is changing at
it
all.
it's every like 6 seconds.
Is this a 3D model with like physics, or is this somebody had to like draw this?
This is a
I think
3D
it is a
model
3D.
with physics.
It looks so dumb. But I do low-key like
You're
that
obviously
little
not
lion
looking where
thing.
I'm looking. This looks
I,
great.
I like this little lion thing with a mustache.
What's
Oh, I'm
weird is
connecting this.
their blinks are always at the same time and order. Big lady blinks and the lion blinks and the little girl riding the lion blinks.
Alright, I'm gonna head out, guys.
I was
I'll be
not
back
even
in
thinking
like an hour
of
and a
that.
half, probably.
Goodbye, Shadow. But you're missing six.
Yeah, Shadow, have you watched the stream yet?
I'll take a peek real quick.
No.
Still loading, huh? I've seen it. All right. Back in a while.